journey since we started this. This is about the 9th to 10th month actually, since we started these live sessions. Okay, and we've treated very fundamental topics. Now, in this month, we're going to be dealing with a very critical matter, and I call these relationship flags. All right, now that's the general name, but particularly we'll emphasize on red flags in a relationship. All right, red flags in a relationship. And it just promises to be a great time today. I hope you're ready, because I'm ready and I'm super excited and I'm ready to hit the ball rolling. Okay. Yes, so relationship flags, right? People are used to hearing about red flags. That's the most popular one. But there are different kinds of flags, they have different meanings. We have yellow flags, we have red flags, we have green flags, all right? Yeah, so of course the green flags are the obvious ones. Green flag is a good sign. It's good to go. It's going to work. It's just like the green light. Say someone is giving me the green light, that is a go ahead. You're cleared. That's green flag. So when we speak of green flags, the flags basically represent signs, that people should look out for. And each of those signs decode meanings. They decode several possibilities. All right, that's why they are signs, because that's what signs do. They decode meanings. Okay, so when you learn how to understand what these flags are and their possible meanings, it will help you to make the right decisions in your relationship. Okay, so like I said, the green flag means it's good to go. Yeah, everybody's fine. Okay, and then we also have the yellow flags. Now, yellow generally is the caution color. All right, it's just like when you put on your vehicle and you see those signs on the dashboard. Many times there are two colors you see there, the yellow and the red. Okay, the yellow ones are telling you, yeah, beware of this. Take note of this rather. Something is not very well here. You need to check it. Something might be due for maintenance or stuff like that. It's just caution. Take note. I'm going to get this thing right. But your vehicle will still be moving and everything will still be functioning properly. Okay. But you see those ones that are red color, those ones are the ones that you have to really pay attention to. Those are the danger ones. Those are the safety ones. And they're telling you, hey, if you see this color, attend to it now. So that is why as soon as you're driving, if you have not put on your seatbelt, you see the seatbelt sign is on. It's telling you, hey, safety, you have to put on your seatbelt. That's red color, you see. And then you see the airbag sign is red. It's telling you, hey, this is a safety matter. It's a matter of life or death. It can determine if you survive or not in the event of a collision. All right. So there are those colors. There are the red ones, you see, and then there are the yellow ones that tell you, take note, pay attention to this thing. It may have very serious consequences if you leave it unattended to. Now, that's the idea behind the yellow flags and the red flags. Okay. Now, in this session, this first session, I will touch on a couple of yellow flags that people need to pay attention to. Okay. And I'm doing this because people don't know the difference between the yellow flags and the red flags. Sometimes people treat the yellow flags as red flags and conclude on a relationship that could have had hope just too early. I hope somebody gets what I'm saying. So there are certain things that are going on in your relationship. At the time, those things may not be terrible just yet, okay? But you are seeing tendencies. Some of those tendencies can be worked on. There are the ones that are too critical to tolerate, okay? But there are the other ones that you can consider. Now, if you don't know which is which, you could take the one that is supposed to be tolerated and treat it like it's in finality, and you cancel a relationship that could have been a great relationship. You see, so this is the idea. Understanding the yellow flags helps you know that, okay, I should look out for this thing. I should pay attention to this. If it goes to the right, if it goes well, fine, we can go ahead with the relationship. But if it goes to the left, if it doesn't go well, then it's a good reason to not go ahead with this relationship. Put it another way, the yellow flag indicates those issues that are what we call they are not the breaking, what's that word? The deal breakers. All right, but you need to consider them because they can lead to the deal breakers. The yellow flags can eventually become red flags. Take note, okay? But red flags are red flags. Those ones are, No, don't play with this. This is dangerous. It is definitely going to deal with you. Okay, I hope somebody understands that basic differentiation of the different flags. Okay, and like I like to quote one of my friends. He says, when you see these flags, especially the red and yellow flags, they are warning signs. They are not signs of a carnival. Okay, the flags indicate pay attention. They are caution. They are warning. Okay, the red flag, particularly that one, is telling you danger. This could be terrible. Watch out. This could be terrible. Those are the red flags. They're shouting at you like, hey, you cannot cope with this. This will be detrimental to you and to your purpose in this relationship. You see, those are the red flags. They're shouting at you to, hey, beware, oh, trouble is looming. There's problem in front. If you continue like this, you have yourself to blame. You see, while the yellow flags are telling you, take note of this quality. If you don't like it, you can do this about it. Okay, but if you're doing this about it and it's not working, nothing is changing, then run, or then, you know what line of action. So let me move straight on, and I will try to mention quite a number of them. I tried to just put together as many as I could identify, because you see, in this thing about relationship, I discovered that a lot of people don't believe they need help. A lot of people think and assume that they are okay. A lot of people just believe that they know what they are doing. They are right, they are correct. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to seek counsel. They don't want to seek help until the house comes crumbling down. And then they start looking for quick fixes. And it's one of the challenges that we have as counselors and coaches sometimes, that somebody comes to you with a problem that has taken their whole 32 years on earth to acquire, and they want you to solve it in 1 hour. They want you to cure that problem in a 1 hour session. Listen to me. Things about behaviors don't change suddenly. Things about habits don't change suddenly. You overcome one habit with another habit, and it takes consistency, it takes time to build a habit. You see, so when you've built a particular negative habit all your life, don't expect that because you spoke to this counselor, it's going to disappear at once. Yes, at that instance where you're speaking with him or her, you may identify, the light can shine on you, and oh, I need to do this. Oh, this is where the problem is, and this is what I need to do, right? But it will not disappear overnight. You need to still apply yourself. You need to commit to the process, so that you can experience the change that you desire. Yes, thank you, Lolia. Good evening. It's good to see you here. Okay, so yellow flags, let me just go right straight into it. I said they are basically those signs that tell you to be on the lookout for certain types of issues in the relationship. I said most times they are pointers to other more serious issues, more problems that could arise, in the future in that relationship. I said in some cases they can be worked on, but in some other cases, hey, just leave them because it's gravitating towards red flags. Now, when I say those yellow flag issues can be worked on, take note, it is strictly if the persons involved are willing to work on their issues. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you've pointed out a particular behavior of theirs that is not good, that you don't like, if they are not willing to work on it, there's hardly anything you can do to change them. And that's why we really tell people that you should remove that idea from your mind that you can change someone. Let me just date him, I will change him with time. Let me just date her, I will change her with time. You don't change people. You don't have that power. How much of change have you implemented in yourself before you're thinking of even impacting that change on someone else? I hope you understand what I'm saying. You see, so some of those qualities that are yellow flag issues, you can bring them to the attention of the person. If he or she is willing to work on it, then you have hope. But if they're not willing to work on it, then it's now becoming a red flag, and you probably need to bounce from that relationship. Let me at this point let people know, the same way that you can freely get into a relationship, is the same way you should know that you can freely walk out of a relationship. Many people treat relationships as though once you get in, you have no other option, like you're stuck here, you can do nothing else. No, you have a choice. If you're in a relationship, you have a choice to stay or to not stay. I hope somebody understands that. Now, when we took the sessions about, my advice to ladies. One of the things I told them is you have a right to not accept a relationship offer. The fact that someone asks you out does not mean the answer must be yes. The fact that somebody does a grand proposal, maybe a public one, does not mean the answer has to be yes. It can still be no. Don't be manipulated into a relationship. Don't be coerced, don't be manipulated. Don't be threatened into a relationship, especially a marital relationship. I hope somebody gets this. Okay, so you have a right to say no. You have a right to walk out of a relationship. You need to know this, and it can help you. It can give you peace. Some people stay in a relationship when it is clearly detrimental to their mental health, to their spiritual health, to their lives. Okay, but they stay there. They feel disempowered. They feel like I can't do anything. They feel like I'm stuck. No, you're not stuck. You are not. You can move. If you decide to move, you will move. If you decide to get out of it, you will get out of it. Okay, enough of that. So let me quickly identify some of the issues I call yellow flag issues. Okay, because we see them a lot in our dealings with people. And I particularly became interested in this conversation when I spoke with a particular young lady, and she identified a relationship she had, which she said was a great one, but after a while, it didn't work. They broke up. And I said, why? And she mentioned certain qualities that the boyfriend, as it were, did not have. And I said, was it just that? She said, yes. And I said, oh, we could have worked on that. Those are not quite serious. Okay, and she's looking at me like, well, how can you say that? And I said, yeah, these are just behavioral things. These are certain things that, when the person is made to see the light and to understand how important this thing is to you, he can apply himself to, a program and a period of transformation. You see, so there are certain things you don't give up on people for. Let me just go right straight to it. So the first example I wrote here is that he doesn't call regularly. First example of a yellow flag. He doesn't call regularly. Why am I always the one calling him? If I don't flash him, he won't call me. Until I call him before he will say, okay, cut, let me call you back. But if I leave him, we can go the whole day and he's not calling me. If he really loves me, he will call me. If he really loves me, he'll be checking on me. You see, now, yes, that is true, that if he really loves you, he would want to speak to you and he will check on you. But what you also need to understand is that a lot of people, especially guys, don't typically know how, at the beginning stages, how to keep in touch with their ladies. And I say that very seriously. It doesn't mean they don't like you. It doesn't mean they're not interested in you. They just don't know how. You need to know this. Yes, there are people who genuinely don't know how. I mean, personally, I had to be taught by my wife or my friend then, how to communicate. I didn't know how to do it. Typically it is said that, naturally a woman is more verbal. She can say a lot more words. She's more inclined to gisting and communicating and telling stories and stuff like that, typically, generally speaking. Okay. The man is not typically built that way. So many times, while a woman is able to identify the fine details in the activities of her day, the man just captures everything, encapsulates everything as fine. So you ask him, how was your day? And he tells you, yeah, just there. He has told you everything he can tell you. I mean, he has answered the question to the best of his ability. How's your day? Yeah, that's okay, fine. Yeah, office went well. Same old. Yeah, the usual. We had this meeting and yeah, it's okay. He has told you everything he can tell you in 12 seconds. He has told you everything. Meanwhile, the babe is there telling you from the moment she woke up how she saw this on her body and she was wondering what could have caused this mark. Oh, maybe it was the soap she used yesterday and she went to check it out. Oh, she saw it was not the soap. Instead, it was the water. She starts telling you all of those things and whoa. You see, now, the fact that he doesn't know how to have those kinds of conversations yet does not mean he's not interested. Does not mean he doesn't love you. He's just not wired that way and he just hasn't learned how to have those kind of conversations. Okay, I'm even taking 2 points at once, okay? But let me speak more to the first thing I mentioned, which is the fact that he does not call. Now listen, at the initial stage, you may need to teach him to call regularly. Yes, You may need to teach him that. As basic as that, you may need to teach him. You may need to tell him that, hey, young man, if you say I am important to you, then please, you should try to call me. Try to call me occasionally. And then, like I tell people, even if he is not calling you, you won't die if you pick up your phone and call him. Now, when you call him, does he not pick up your call? Does he cut your call? Does he enjoy talking to you? Do you understand? You won't die if you call him. So if he doesn't if he doesn't know how to make regular calls, you teach him how to make regular calls by telling him about it, but also most importantly, by doing it. Do you understand? Now, one thing you need to know is that when a man is genuinely interested in you, he would want to make you happy. He would want to do anything he knows to do to make you happy. Okay, whatever he knows to do. So if he finds out that calling you would make you happy, he would learn. He would install the software reminder, in his mind that he has to call. You see, so don't give up on your relationship simply because he doesn't call me regularly. It does not mean he doesn't love you. It doesn't mean he's calling other people. You need to understand that there are certain people to whom making phone calls is stressful. I have been there in the most part of my life. Phone call, it takes a high level of emotional strength for me to just pick up my phone and call you. Man, it's stressful. You see, so there are people, some of us like that, who would not readily call. Okay, we prefer the straight to the point conversations. We prefer and that's why many times when it's a guy conversation, many times you just, hey, how far, what's up? Have you heard about this? No, okay, check now, confirm. Okay, yeah, sure, thank you, yeah, later, yeah, bye. Straight up. But the woman starts with, oh, so how now? How was your day? How is everything? Where are you? See, there was a time in my life. You call me, ask me where are you, I will hang up the phone. You don't have, what's your business? Why am I asking? What are we discussing that? Do you understand? I'll just hang up. You're disturbing me. I'm not in the mood, right? Or you ask me where are you, I tell you straight to the point. What is it? I was that rude and bad. Yeah, but I've become better. Okay. So my point is, those are the times in my life where I just did not like phone conversations. It was just too stressful. So just imagine I'm that kind of person. And my lady wants me to always talk to her, it's going to stress me. But my point is, at the initial stage, yes, it is stressful. But because this person is important to me, I would have to learn how to do it. That's why I'm telling you that some of these things, you don't just give up on them. You give them time. You train the person. You teach them what to do. Or you tell him, tell me about your day. And he said my day was just there. And you tell him, no, just there is nothing. When I ask you to tell me about your day, I want to hear what happened when you woke up. I want to hear what happened on your way to work. I want to hear if you met the traffic. I want to know if the road was clear. I want to know if one madman was crossing the road and he jumped on the mango tree. I just want to hear anything. So tell me details about your day. To say the truth, many times the man's mind does not understand why those details are important. But to the lady he's relating with, they are important. So he needs to learn how to share them. You see, I hope somebody understands these things I'm saying. So the fact that he doesn't call regularly doesn't mean he's cheating on you, doesn't mean he does not love you. It's possible he just doesn't know that he should call regularly. It's possible he just doesn't know how to do it and how to sustain conversations. Okay? It's possible he doesn't know some of those basic courtesies. You guys you had a date and then you've gone home and 30 minutes after you go home, you've not heard from him. 1 hour, you've not heard from him, and you're angry. Don't be angry. Pick up your phone and reach out to him. Hey, how are you doing? Are you fine? Hope you got home okay. I just wanted to check on you. All right. And he will appreciate it. And then you tell him too that, well, it won't be a bad idea, actually, if you also did this to check on me. Or do you mean that after we left that restaurant, you stopped thinking about me? Have I left this out of sight, out of mind? And he'll say, come on, how can you say that now? Come on, baby, you fill up my heart. So you're the only one in my heart. You tell him, well, how will I know I'm in your heart when you're not calling me? You see? So there are ways to teach a man how to call regularly. In fact, you can tell him stuff like, okay, no problem. Well, since you will not call me, I will call you. But anytime you see my call and you pick it, know that is a cue for you to call. So better still, when you see my call, don't even pick it, just cut and call me back. Now, but I've established that nothing stops you from calling your man. I just want to say that. Okay. Now, so the first 2 points I said are, 1, the fact that he does not call regularly, that is a yellow flag. It can become a red flag, but it can as well be worked on so that the relationship still goes on. That may not be enough reason just yet to end the relationship. Okay? You say he doesn't know how to sustain a conversation with me. It means he's not interested in me. No, it means he hasn't learned. It possibly means he hasn't learned how to have a conversation with a lady. And I know what I'm saying. He doesn't know what things are important to you. Left to him, he probably wants to gist about soccer or an action movie or politics or engineering or, the weather, the kind of funny things that we think about sometimes, But then she wants to talk about feelings, her mood, how that since yesterday she's just been having this headache. She doesn't even know what it is. Or since yesterday, her arm has been paining her. She just wants to talk about those things. He needs to learn. And you see, that's another challenge. You see, because once you mention those kind of things to him, all he's telling you is, have you called a doctor? Go to the doctor now. Get drugs from the pharmacy. Or go out, you need to take a rest. That's not what she wants to hear. She knows that. She has done that. All she wants to hear is, oh, really? Oh, my God, I'm so sorry. Are you sure you're not stressing yourself too much at the office? You need to take care of yourself. You're very special to me. I don't want anything to happen to you. Do you understand? Those are the kind of things she wants to hear. She'll be feeling like, it's true. But man never learn out. He never learn out. You have to teach him. Okay, someone says, how long does one learn how to communicate with his or her partner? Well, it's up to both parties, you see. But first of all, these things have to be deliberate. And why is this important? Because of the fundamental fact that both of you are different. You are completely different people. First of all, your genders are different. That even goes a long way to explain, how that you don't see things the same way, you don't interpret things the same way, you don't respond to things the same way. Okay? So understanding that fact that both of you are different, it should put you in a position where you are open to learning about each other. You are open, okay? And there's nothing wrong in asking each other, okay, how best, how would you want me to relate with you in this area? Okay, I don't seem to be getting along well with so thing. How, you teach me, how do you want me to talk to you? Okay, like I said earlier, you may have to be the one to tell him that, hey, when I say tell me about your day, what I mean is I want to hear everything, the significant and the insignificant details. Typically, a man will not think about that. He just wants to tell you about the high points in the day. Yes, I got to office just before it was late. Thank God I was able to make it early. Yeah, we had this meeting. It went well. I got 1 or 2 scoldings, but it's okay. I smashed this target. Yeah, I made this presentation. It was really good. For him, just those high points are okay for him. But you see, the lady wants to hear more. She wants to hear feelings. She wants to hear how this happened, how this excited you, how this, did not go well. Oh, this person came around. We gisted for a while. During lunch, we did. She wants to hear all of those details. Okay. So, to answer your question about how long it takes, okay, it takes as long as both of you are willing to commit to learning about these things. You have to learn. And that's why I would teach people that the best time to be in relationship, the best time to prepare for a relationship is before you get into one. Okay? This is the time, if you're not yet in a relationship or married, this is the time to really prepare, to teach yourself, to learn these things, to know what is important and what is not important, to know how you should relate with your spouse. You learn it before you get married. Many people are having challenges because they are trying to learn it right there in the marriage. And trust me, when I say you learn it before you get married, you don't learn everything, because the major part of the learning will happen inside the marriage. You need to hear this. The major part of the learning will happen in the marriage, because that is where your real life is redefined. Everything is different now. You're not dating here. You're not visiting each other once in a while. You're not doing weekends or spending the night. No, now you live together. You build your lives around each other. Okay. Now, every day interfacing with this person day in, day out, you're going to learn a lot. But you see, it's important that you learn the principles first. You have the right disposition, the right mindset, so that when you are in marriage, it's easier to deal with these things. Okay, Femi Smiles, I hope that has spoken to your question. All right, but if it hasn't, feel free to still engage, and I would be glad to share. Okay, so yellow flags. That's what we're talking about today. In fact, I'll use today to just talk about these yellow flags so that from next week we can jump really into the red flag proper. And don't forget, the yellow flags are the things that are caution signs, telling you, hey, pay attention to this, look at this. It could go well, it could go bad, okay? But in itself, it is not a reason just yet to terminate that relationship. So we're looking at some of them. And I said one is that he doesn't call you regularly. He doesn't know how to sustain a conversation. And I've said, yes, while those things are important, it does not mean your partner is not interested in you. Probably means he doesn't know how, or he doesn't even know that these things are important to you. Okay. And then you say, he doesn't notice when I make my hair. He doesn't compliment my good looks. Again, apply the principles I shared in 1 and 2 to these 3 and 4. He doesn't compliment your hair. Teach him to do so. Teach him to do so. He doesn't appreciate your good looks. Teach him to do so. As a matter of fact, there are guys I know who probably because of their mindsets and how they were raised, they would even shy away from complimenting certain things about a lady. Her good looks, her good clothes and stuff like that, they would just shy away from it. And by the way, depending on how you even do it, in certain climes, it will be offensive to the lady. You see, so you need to understand the dynamics involved, right? So the fact that he doesn't tell you, you changed your hair. Oh, you changed your perfume. I mean, the fact that he does not notice does not mean he's not a good man. Like I tell people sometimes, the challenge many of you are having is that you have gone to experiment with all the playboys in town. They know all the tricks. And then you say, I want to marry a Jesus boy. And then you go and meet one Christian brother that has not dated all the girls in his life. He has been saying the first girlfriend I have is the one I will marry. And you now happen to be that first girlfriend. Now you carry all your experience from all the other guys and you impose them on this young man who has no idea what you're talking about. You see, he needs to learn it. He needs to learn it. So you need to teach him to say, hey, you know what? When I show up every day or when we speak on the phone over the video call, I mean, there's certain things you should look out for. Check out for my hair. Check if I have done a new style. Tell me I'm looking good or don't I look good to you? Do you understand? Teach him to do that. And then don't forget my principle. Even if he's not doing that, you do it to him. When he looks good, tell him, oh, you look good. Oh, you look dazzling. Oh, I like that smile. Oh, I like that haircut. Oh, I like that shirt. That tie is beautiful. Wow, you do it. Relationship goes both ways. I mean, it's give and take. It's not just receive. Give me, help me, for me only. No. You see? So you should also learn how to give those things that you want to receive. But don't forget, teach him. Okay, you can say that to yourself over and over again. Teach him. He doesn't know. It's possible he doesn't know what to do and how to do it. All he knows is that he has seen a girl that he likes. And if you leave him, he's going to get married to her. But he doesn't know that, hey, between here and there is a lot you need to learn about the journey. And there's a lot you need to learn about how to relate with her. Okay, next point. You see, now, this point now is something you want to look at. You want to take note of. He's gentle with you, but speaks rudely to other ladies. You want to pay attention to that. You want to ask yourself, I mean, why did he raise his voice at that lady? She didn't deserve that. You see, you observed that you kept quiet the first time. You went somewhere else again with him and you noticed the way he spoke to another person. You say, hey, now you're going to ask him, was there no other way you could have spoken to that lady? I mean, did you have to shout at her? You find a way to just find out why he's behaving the way he's behaving. And then you discover that he tells you stuff like, all these women, you have to put them in their place. So you have to put them in their place. You have to talk to them, so that, they'll not take you for granted. You are getting the signals now. You see, what was an initial yellow flag is now showing you that, hey, the real reasoning behind this behavior is a red flag reasoning. Now, what that simply means is that today he is nice to you, but before long, you will join the category of ladies that need to be put in their place, whatever that means. You see, now he's still trying to win your heart. He's still trying to show you how a great guy he is and how a lover boy he can be. He's not going to do that to you. This is the point where he puts his best foot forward, where, I call it best practices season. He's just giving you all the best practices. Oh, opens the door for you, does all these nice things for you. Yeah, careful. You see, you're still observing. Before long, if he's doing this to other people, he will do the same thing to you. If he's disrespecting every other lady figure in his life, it's a matter of time he will disrespect you. You're not that special. You're not the one that turned his life around. No, it's not you. Like I say sometimes, 36 other people have tried to do it. It did not work. You're number 37. Even it's not guaranteed to work. Okay, you're not the savior of his life. No, you're not. You're not that powerful and special. Okay, you're not a superwoman. Let me help you. Now, you need to understand what I'm saying. So, when you see some of those signals, hey, for you, it's a case of run. You know that sound they do in those memes and stuff, run. You see? But then, if you draw his attention to it and he feels like, oh, really? Did I really sound that way to her? Oh, I don't know. I didn't take note of that. Maybe I was just angry. Maybe I was just tired. And then you see somebody who is genuinely committed to becoming better. Okay. You see, for you, that thing that was a yellow flag, okay, which has now been attended to properly, no longer becomes a concern. So you observe him. The next time you guys go out, maybe he went like that again, but he recalled and then, I'm sorry, I was not supposed to do that. Maybe you now start seeing that, he's making deliberate changes. He's putting in the effort to become a better person. That's good. Okay. You see, what was a yellow flag, prompted you to do something about it. And then now you have done something about it. You are seeing that the person is putting in the effort to become better. That is a good thing. You see, so that's an example of how a yellow flag does not necessarily become a red flag, but then can be converted, into a learning point for your partner. So don't give up on him just yet or her just yet because of that yellow flag issue. Let me go on with more points. Now, you also want to take note of this. This person doesn't speak well of his or her parents. Okay. You noticed it the first time. You noticed it again. Don't forget that in the dating stage, right? We have always said you guys should discuss a lot. In fact, that is the principal activity you're supposed to do. Discuss, talk, oh, not kissing and smooshings and sex. Talk, hang out, talk, visit the movies, talk, visit the beach, talk, go on a trip, talk, but avoid bodily and sensual gratifications, because that will do danger to your ability to process things, objectively. All right. So in that stage where you're talking, this is where you're asking all of these questions and you're taking note of his responses or her responses. So you've discovered the first 2 times when you heard him or her speak over the phone, the way they spoke to their parents, and you're wondering, hey, this is not acceptable. What happened? And then when you get talking, you're able to find out that, oh, this is what happened. There's a deep hurt somewhere, you see, and then you start suggesting or sharing your own opinion and why you think that is not cool and how you can get better. And then don't forget, while you're doing this, you are observing his or her receptiveness. Don't forget, I said you cannot change anybody who does not want to change. So you see, when you're sharing these things with them, you're observing, are they receiving it? How are they taking it? You see, now you're telling the person that I think things can be done better this way. I think you need to do this. I need to do that. And you see that you're taking in the feedback and putting in the effort to become better. That is a good sign. All right. But if you say, the way he spoke to his mom the other day, this one, he cannot respect any woman in his life. No, you don't know the details about what went wrong between him and his mom. Perhaps he just hasn't learned. Perhaps he just doesn't know yet that he needs therapy. He doesn't know yet that this is an issue. Perhaps it's going to take you to point his attention there, and then he starts doing something about it. Okay, so let me move on to the next point. You say, okay, some of the things I've been saying sounded more like I was talking to guys. So I found 1 or 2 other things that can relate to the babes. Okay, so you meet a girl today, and tomorrow she's telling you she has financial issues. That's a yellow flag. Can you just help me with urgent 2K? Urgent 10K, urgent 50K. Something just came up. Then you tell yourself that, no, I really like this girl, no problem now. If giving her this money will make her happy, why not? And then you send the money. Now, if you're a sharp person, that first act will just trigger the caution sign. Dun, dun. When you tell yourself, I forget, I beg, no, don't overthink it, don't worry. Don't worry, don't overthink it. Just send the money, you have it now. Then you send it, but you're watching. Then next tomorrow she comes, my cousin is getting married maybe you're in Lagos. My cousin is getting married in Abuja. Next 2 weeks. I'll be going for the wedding. I'll show you buy my flight ticket. Ooh, then you say, oh, really? When is it again? Oh, okay. Yeah, remind me. But by then in your mind, you're already going, first of all, who is this cousin? How am I even sure it's your cousin you're going to see? You want to use my money to go and see another man. You're not serious. All of those thoughts start coming up in your head. You see, that's a yellow flag, right? How can somebody you're meeting just now already start asking you for favors and money? And take note that this goes both ways, because there are some boys where they don't forget their shame for house, You meet a girl today, tomorrow you're asking her for money. I just got stranded. I left my wallet. I left the phone I use for my transactions. I left it. It's not this one I'm talking to you. I left it at home. So can you just transfer me? Help me send this money to this lock up. See, some guys do that. They meet a girl today, tomorrow they're hustling the girl for funds. You see, so that is a yellow flag. First. Now, I'm calling it a yellow flag because, like I said, first, these are the initial ones. You're looking, what is this? What is this? Okay. And then, because it's still the first time, you say, okay, let me oblige. But that that's you obliging at that point, okay, is just you saying, okay, now I'm going to put the spotlight on this matter and I'm going to watch it. Let me see if this continues. And then every other thing is good for a while. And then another day he comes up with a new story. Can you just help me on your way back? Can you just branch by the supermarket and just buy this and buy that and buy that? Oh, God, sorry, myself, I forgot my ATM too. You see, at a point, you discover that this particular behavior is becoming too repetitive. And this type is not the one that you say will change. No. This one is not. It's not that type. This particular kind of point is the one that now leads to a red flag. You now tell yourself, the way this man is going, no. We can't continue like this. And then you find your way out of the relationship. You start posting the person, you start reducing the phone calls and all that. And just say, I don't know what happened there. I'm just busy. You see? So I've given you different examples of yellow flags. Some that don't necessarily become detrimental to the relationship and some that can become detrimental to the relationship. Okay? So let's look at a few others. I have quite a few others. Oh, now this one can also be a yellow flag. You meet this guy. You guys start talking about everything. And then within the space of few days of gisting, he has listed like 3 different girls that were his exes. Oh yeah, one girl I dated then. The other girl I dated in. The other girl I dated. You're wondering, hey, young man, what are you? Are you a calendar that has all the dates? What's going on? How many dates do you want to date? All right. How can you in just how many years of your life or within a short period of your life, you have dated everywhere? You see, now that's a yellow flag because you want to be concerned. Is this kind of person who is used to temporary relationships here and there, is this kind of person going to be ready to have a serious relationship with you? Don't forget that on this platform, when we speak about relationships, there's only one goal: relationships that lead to marriage, not relationship for feel good, not relationship for feel among. All my friends have boyfriend and girlfriend, let me have my own. No, relationships that are leading strictly to marriage. Okay, so when we talk relationship here, that's what we're saying. All right. So, you're talking with a guy and you discover that, hey, in the past 3 years of his life, he has dated 5 women. What exactly is going on? What exactly is going on, young man? And by the way, if everybody you're in a relationship with is breaking up with you, don't you think that you are the problem? Why are they the ones? No. Don't you think you're the problem? You see, now this goes both ways. I know right now I'm speaking to the guys, but you think about it as a guy. You meet a lady today, and before long you discover that in the past 2 years she has dated 4 guys, and you're wondering what is the reason for the quick breakup of all of those relationships. And then, by the way, if the relationships had to break up in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, then why did it become a relationship already? It also shows that perhaps this person does not even know how to sieve out contacts. Anybody that knock, you say, oh, enter. Do you understand? So, you want to check some of those things. So that's a yellow flag. Why are you having too many relationships in your life? What's going on here? You see, and you see this thing I'm saying. Some people will be hearing it for the first time, that you can have a normal relationship with a member of the opposite sex. For some, once you start becoming special, it has to become a relationship where you can now start kissing and doing all of those things. You see, please, you can have a normal friendship. Normal. You're not tripping for her, or you're not obsessed with her, you're not lusting after her body. And you, the lady, you're not lusting after his body. Normal friendships where you help each other, you inspire each other professionally, spiritually, in other areas of your life. It must not always come down to your bodies. Do you understand? You see? But the people who don't know this are the ones who, once you get close to them, it is a relationship. Once two of you gist for 1 hour, the next day it is, oh dear, my love. You have entered. You see? You had just a beautiful 30 minutes conversation, and then the next day it's a matter of come over. Come over for what? You see, now, those are the kind of people who, in a short time, we have 1,000 relationships. That is a flag for you. You want to check it. Why? How come? Why have you dated almost everybody in your office? Why? Why have you dated everybody in your church? Why? Do you understand? You want to find out. You see, because it could mean a whole lot of things. It could mean that this person is not even poised at all for a long-term relationship. It could mean that this person just has a problem with their self-esteem and is looking for validation left, right, center. Anybody that is giving validation, I'm here, or here am I, use me, take me as your own, use me as you want. You see, you want to watch out for that. Okay, let me move on. Oh, yeah, another thing that could be a yellow flag, this person forgets important dates and, scheduled dates and call times. Okay, we're going to be talking at 8 p.m. every day. Okay, that's fine. 8 p.m. today, you call, it's not picking. Oh, what happened? Oh, I was sleeping. I was very tired, so I slept off and I put my phone off so that nobody would disturb me. I put my phone silent. And you're wondering, But we said we were going to talk today at 4 p.m. We said we were going to. How can you say, oh, sorry, I forgot. Oh my God, okay, sorry, next time. For you, you take note of that first. But then, like I said, maybe he needs to learn it and keep watching. And then tomorrow, the next day, the next time, again and again, and this person keeps forgetting important events, important dates, important scheduled appointments, or no. You see, now, when that becomes consistent, it tells you this person is not serious. Or at least is not serious about the relationship. Take note, after a while, or not just at the beginning. Okay, and you have to see that this person is not even making any effort to become better. That's when it becomes a red flag for you. And you say, no, you know what? I can't deal like this. I can't deal because, it's raising a lot more other questions. Perhaps I don't even trust you. How am I sure at that time you were really sleeping? How am I sure you're not doing some other thing or you just don't want to take my call? Do you understand? You see, now because it's sustained, it's becoming a red flag. But at the beginning, it did not have to become a red flag just yet. It's just a pointer that, hey, take note of this. It can become more serious or it may not become more serious. You see, so an example is maybe something like this happened the first time. You guys were supposed to meet on a particular day and then the person stood you up and you were so livid, you're so mad, and then when you got discussing, you discovered that, it was a sad day for him. He lost his job or got news that a family member had passed or something. You see, and that was why he just disappeared and went incommunicado for like 2 days, You see, now that you have found, something this emotionally impacting happened to this person, the right thing for you to do is to show mercy and understanding and sensitivity also. You see, not to go about saying, that's how you stood me up the other day. Something wrong with your head. Somebody's going through issues here. Do you understand? So you want to also show understanding. You see, so now in that case, right, you are going to observe if the person sustains that kind of behavior again and again and again. You see, but if after the person gets out of that emotional state, the person is back up and keeping up with appointments, punctual, and all of that. And then you see that particular issue has been contained. But what would have happened if just because of that first instance, you say this guy is not serious or this lady is not serious, I'm cutting her off, you would be losing what could be a great relationship. Don't forget what I said at the beginning, that many people miss out on what could have been great relationships because they mistook yellow flags for red flags. So you need to know the difference. At the yellow flag stage, it is still a pointer. It is a sign. It's telling you pay attention, observe, okay? You can do something about this, okay? But at the red flag stage, this is beyond your control. You can't do anything about this. And if the person is not willing to put in the work, then it's not on you. You have to escape. You have to run. You have to save your life. If not, you are in for a sad relationship for as long as it lasts. Okay, another yellow flag you want to take note of is if this person always reminds you of your ex. Why is it a yellow flag? Because if you had unpleasant memories with that ex, this person is going to be triggering those memories and it won't help you. You see, also, if you have not successfully gotten over that ex and this person is triggering those memories, again, that could not help you, emotionally. So if you have this person, you think you like him, but man, everything he does is just reminding you of that one you just left. I beg. He may not understand why you're avoiding him, but for your own good, avoid him. Okay, of course, the same applies to guys. She's reminding you of everything you did not like in the other girl, or she's reminding you of that girl you liked so much, but it did not work, and it was so much an emotional hurt to you, and you don't even want to go there again. You see, so when you see that this person is triggering those kind of memories, it's a yellow flag. Okay, now, yellow flag at the beginning, because you can tell him, could you not talk about this kind of thing? Or could you for a while just avoid mentioning this place or going to that? If it's something that can be addressed like that, right? You can address it. But if it's just kind of things that is the core of this person, you cannot take it away from. Maybe something about his eyes, maybe something about her figure, maybe something about the way she talks, you cannot change those ones. Do you understand? So for your own good, just let it slide. That one is not for you. It's for another person. Okay. Let me move on to another point. Yeah. This one also is just like the first one. Now, the first what I just said is that the person reminds you of your ex. Okay. But this other point is where the person is in contact with their ex. Now, take note. Being in contact with an ex is not always a bad thing. For goodness sakes, you're not going to quarrel with everybody with whom your relationship did not work. Okay? So there is such a contact that is harmless, is not a threat to the new relationship. Okay? Now, that can be considered as okay. I mean, they dated for a while, but it didn't work. They were in a relationship for a while, but it didn't work. That's fine. But there's maturity on both ends, and there are boundaries, okay? There are professional boundaries, that they don't cross anymore. They know we're not together. So, we can't still be talking like that. But once in a while, I need something from your office. I call you, you still work there. After all, you can help me. You help me. Oh, thank you. That's fine. Yeah, later. Bye. You see, so there are levels of contact with an ex that could be yellow flags, okay, because you're wondering, why are you talking with your ex? Why? Have you not left him? Have you not left her? Why are you still talking to her? You see, but it now depends on what that contact with the ex is like and how regular it is, and then what kind of conversations and meetups they are having. But at the initial stage, it is a flag, but it's not yet a red flag. Now what happens is somebody just looks on the guy's phone, sees that he dialed this person number. I thought you said it's over between you and your ex. Why did you call her? Why did you call her? You don't even know whether that ex put in a good word for you somewhere and you got the contract that you people are using to celebrate now. You see, and that was when she was calling him to say, okay, I've spoken with this person, go on and submit your application. Do you understand? You don't even know what the details was, but just because why you in touch, you start bringing down the roof. Now that's a problem. So the point is, if there is just a mature contact, that can be understandable, so long as it's not regular and it's not detrimental to the new relationship. Okay, when it starts becoming regular, yes, and that's a red flag. Because for goodness sake, why are you people always talking now? If you are over that relationship, let it be over. Like I tell people, learn to sever a relationship with someone, especially when there was a lot of emotionalism involved. Learn to sever that relationship when it's done. Okay, so when it's no longer a relationship, you're not quarreling with the person. In the case where you cannot avoid the person, keep the conversations professional. Stick to the points. Don't do extras. Keep it short and out of your face. Okay? Yeah. What else have I not said? Let me see. Haven't said much about spiritual points. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So basically, you meet this person, very nice guy, very nice lady, but then they really are not used to spiritual things. They're not really used to going to church. I mean, what's church? I mean, once in a while, I just, when I'm not tired, I just, go hang out with my friends in church, you know. At the beginning, that's a concern. It's a yellow flag. It's not yet a red flag. Now, why am I saying that? It's possible that all this person's life, this is just what they had known church to be. Meanwhile, for you grew up inside church, you do devotion morning and night in your house, your family is Jesus' family, everybody carrying out for head, you know. But then this person did not grow up like that. These things are new to him or her. You see, now what is important is you have noticed that this person is not really as churchy as you are or doesn't know spiritual things like you do. But then, does this person have a heart to receive these things, to learn these things? Does this person have a heart to know God more? Especially because it's important to you and you have shared with this person and you see that openness, that receptivity, to the things of God. Do you understand? Yeah. So initially the interest might not be there, but now that you are showing the person why they should pick interest in these things, how well are they picking up that signal and how well are they running with it? You see, so at first, yes, the fact that, the person does not know God like you doesn't write him off. And you see, I see this challenge with ladies, especially who grew up in the church and who know that my husband should be my leader, my priest. He should be the pastor of the home. The man should be able to lead me spiritually. Listen, not all men have that level of spiritual exposure. There are good men who don't know the Bible. Are you hearing me? There are good men who don't know how to pray more than 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay? What you need to check is, what is the state of this person's heart towards God? Do they love the Lord? Are they open to learning and drawing closer to the things of God? Right now, he may not be a minister, an active person in church, but just give him time. That could come over time. Doesn't even need to be a minister per se. He just needs to love the Lord and understand how to grow in the things of God and how to use that love and extend it towards you. Do you understand? So my point is, at the beginning, he's not spiritually there, but then, does he love the Lord? Does she love the Lord? Are they willing to apply their hearts to growing and learning the things of God? If the answer is yes, then stay there and walk the process with them. Don't give up just yet because he does not speak in tongues like you, or because he doesn't know God, doesn't quote verses like your youth leader in church. And that is why youth leaders in church, they keep having lots of problems, because all the girls want to marry them and it's only one they will marry last. You see problem? You see? So young ladies, the fact that he is not all firebrand does not mean he cannot become firebrand. Does not mean he will not be a Christian. Does not mean he will not love the Lord. Okay? Point is, expose them to these things. Have conversations. That's why you people should be discussing. That's how your positive values can rub over on somebody else when you are discussing. Tell me, is it when you people met today, you slept with him tomorrow, and since then you have been sleeping with yourself, then next week you not tell him, I want us to start doing devotion every morning and night. The guy could look you like, devotion? That one that we did, just say amen after that one now. What, you understand? I mean, the guy is wondering, what are you talking about? Oh, they do devotion, they go church, church, I know they go church, no problem now. So far, we see they okay. Do you understand? You see, but where you guys are discussing, and you are living out the values that you want to see in him, you see, and then you share with him that, okay, I think we need to take the things of God more seriously, and the person is open to growing. That's good. You see, so the fact that initially he's not a Christian does not mean he's not God-fearing, which is what every lady wants, every Christian lady wants. He must be God-fearing. God, a man that is fearing God. What does it mean? You don't even know what it means. Okay. Anyway, so much for that point. I think, let me stop there. Yeah, that's a good place to stop. I have quite a number of points, but For now, we can stop there. Okay, so I hope somebody understood what we spoke about today. Today, we spoke about understanding yellow flags, versus red flags. And we said that yellow flags may not necessarily lead to the termination of that relationship, okay? But that yellow flags, some of them can be worked on, but it's important that the person involved needs to, by themselves, by himself or herself, want to work on those things because they're interested in keeping this relationship. But you see, you don't cancel out a relationship simply because of those yellow flags. No, it is when those yellow flags lead to red flags, because that behavior becomes consistent or this person is not willing to change, then you can treat it as a red flag, okay? But don't end your relationship just yet because of some of these signs. Some of them can be worked on, okay, over time, all right? Now, I hope this has been good to somebody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned one or two things. Feel free to comment on the video, share the video. Thank you. God bless you. I got to go now.